This is Miss Humbert here. Today we're going to be going over the back side of this Unit 1 Notes 4 worksheet. So we're going to actually be graphing some of these lines. So first of all, number 1 and 2 are in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is the easiest in terms of graphing. So when you take a look at this, you're crossing the y-axis at 3. Okay, so since you're crossing the y-axis at 3, what I'm going to do is I am going to put a point at 3. Okay, so I'm going to put a point right here at 3. And then my slope is negative 2 over 3. So from that point, I'm going down 2. Remember, slope is rise over run. So I'm going down 2 and over 3. And then I'm going to plot that point. Now that I have 2 points, I can draw a line and connect the line. So that right here is my answer for number 1. Taking a look at number 2, the thing that's added on, remember that's where you're crossing the y-axis. So I'm crossing the y-axis at a negative 6. So that negative 6 is right here. My slope then is 1 over 4, which means I'm going up 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, and I am going to plot that point. So now that I have 2 points, I can go ahead, connect my lines, and that's my answers for numbers 1 and 2. Now 9 and 10 get a little bit more complicated, okay? So for 9 and 10, or on mine, 3 and 4, what you need to do is solve each of these equations for x or for y. So here we have y minus 3 is equal to 2 times x plus 1. So the first thing I'm going to do is distribute in that 2. So I get y minus 3 is equal to 2 times x, which is 2x, and 2 times 1, which is 2. So now to completely solve for y, I need to add 3 to both sides. So I get that y is equal to 2x plus 2 plus 3, which is 5. So this is the equation that we're going to use to graph because it gives us what we need. So first of all, we're crossing the y-axis at 5. So I'm going to find 5 on the y-axis and put that point there. So then for my slope, since my slope is 2, that means I need to go up 2 and over 1. Now, to go up 2 and over 1, I'm actually going to be off the graph. So something else you can do instead of going up 2 and right 1, you can actually go down 2 and left 1. Notice when I do that how my line is still going up and down. So I'm going to go ahead and connect those 2 dots. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and let's take a look at number 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by distributing in that 1/2. Now when I do that, you end up getting a fraction. So I like to write it as a decimal for right now. I always like to leave my slope as a fraction, but sometimes it's easier to look at negative 3/2 as a negative 1.5 because we have to bring that 4 over. So here, since that's a positive 4, I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. And then I end up getting that y is equal to 1/2 x, and negative 1.5 minus 4 is going to be negative 5.5. So we're crossing the y-axis, we're going down 5, and then we're going halfway to 6, which is going to be about right here. Now, my slope is going to be 1/2, which is up 1 and over 2. So when I go up 1, I'm really going up to the halfway between negative 4 and negative 5, because that is up 1 from the halfway there. And then I go over a solid 2. So now that I've done that, I can go ahead and connect my lines, and that's your answer for number 10. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at 11 and 12. Again, these are in standard form. In order for us to be able to graph them, we have to solve for y. So here I have 4x plus 2y is equal to 8. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to solve that for my y. So the first thing I want to do is get my 4x over to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 4x to the other side. Now you can't combine 4x, negative 4x, and 8 because one has an x and the other doesn't. So then you get 2y is equal to negative 4x plus 8. So now that 2 is being multiplied by the y, so I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 2. Then negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2, and then x, and then 8 divided by 2 is 4. So now I'm going to be graphing the equation y is equal to negative 2x plus 4. So I'm crossing the y-axis at 4, which is right here. Then my slope is going to be negative 2. So then I'm going down 2, and then I'm going to go right 1. Down 2, write 1, and I'm going to plot that point. And now I can go ahead and I can connect the dots between to get my line. So same thing for number 6. I have to actually graph or solve that for y. So I have 6x minus 3y is equal to a negative 12. So first thing I'm going to do, since that's a positive 6, I'm going to subtract 6 to the other side. So when I get negative 3y, again, you can't combine the negative 6 and the negative 12, so I'm going to write each of those terms off. Then that negative 3 is being multiplied by the y, so I'm going to divide both sides by a negative 3. So negative 6 divided by negative 3 is a positive 2, and then I have the x. Negative 12 divided by negative 3 is going to be a positive 4. So now I'm ready to graph y is equal to 2x plus 4. So I'm crossing the y-axis at 4. That's going to be right here. Okay, so then my slope is 2 over 1. So I'm going up 2 and over 1. And now, once I have 2 points, I can go ahead and hopefully you can connect the dots a lot better than I can. All right, so that concludes the second part of your note video, so you can go ahead and finish up your practice. Thank you for listening.